Some of the most critical words that have been imprinted in my mind is what one of my mentors said. And he said, do not step into leadership if you are not prepared to serve others. He said, any other thing without serving other people is about self-interest, and it's about putting yourself on a pedestal, elevating yourself above those people that you should be helping. And after that conversation, I thought deep about it, and I realized that you can only be a leader once you start to make a difference in the lives of other people. You can only be a leader if you find a place, you build upon that place, and you leave it better than you found it. But unfortunately, you get people who get into institutions, into organizations, and they claim to be doing things for others, whereas it's for their own benefit. I bet you go to any organization, the organization will tell you about the values, which is an important thing because you need to understand what that organization stands for. You will look at their walls and you will see values flashed throughout the walls. But the fundamental question is, the employees in that organization, do they find that their lived experiences mirror those values? When you go into any organization again, you find leaders who says the people are our most important asset. And I'm saying you can whisper it, you can scream it, you can write it in bold letters on your internet. But if the people in that organization or institution do not feel that they are the most important assets, then you are missing the mark. Whatever that you are doing is counter to what leaders are supposed to be doing. When you go into government institutions, especially here in South Africa, we say batho pele, meaning people first. But the question is, as citizens, as we go into the different institutions where we should be getting services, are we feeling that we are put first? Do we feel that we are being prioritized as citizens in those institutions? Probably there are institutions, both government and private, where leaders live the values of the organization. But at the end of the day, the test of whether employees, citizens, or any other followers experience the values and the ethos of what the leadership in those institutions say depends on the lived experiences of those people. And this is what I would like to talk about, because the role of leaders really is to make a difference to the lives of other people. Let's not complicate it. We can go into academia and talk about the definitions of leadership, but it's just about how do you lift others? How do people feel once you have come across them? Are you giving them hope? Are you giving life to their dreams, or are you just killing their dreams? And personally, I have come across leaders who have assisted me to achieve my purpose, to find my purpose and to live my purpose. I remember the other day I walked into this leader and we were just going to talk about my delivery, my work that day. And he said, let's not talk about your work. Let's just talk about your career aspirations. And I said, wow, this is very interesting. And I asked a question, but why would you like to talk about my career? And he said, much as you are working for this organization, you still have got a future ahead of you. My responsibility is not to prepare you for where you are, but is to prepare you for your way ahead. Whether it is in this organization or is elsewhere, it is my responsibility as a leader. I'm not here in competition with organizations that I don't know where you will end, but I am in competition with my ethos in terms of wanting to develop the people that work for me. And he said, my standard is to raise great leaders. And when you walk out of this organization, if you happen to leave it either by resignation or by retirement, you must be a better person wherever that you are going. And I found that to be so powerful. And It has become part of my leadership ethos to develop people that way, not only for now, but for their future. And he asked me 4 fundamental questions. What would bring fulfillment to you personally and professionally? And the second question was, what career path would you have chosen if not for the current role that you are in? Third question was, what obstacles prevented you from pursuing your aspiration? What resources and support do you need now to be able to achieve your objectives? And I looked at this man and I said, I would like to become an executive coach, because at some point in our discussions, I had raised that. And he said, I've seen your passion in terms of building a leadership capability in this organization. So what is it that you are looking for? How can I support you? And I said, I don't want to be binded by agreements. I just want time for me to attend my classes, and then yours is just to allow me that time. I'll sponsor myself. And he said, okay, bring me the invoice from the institution. And he said something powerful for me. He said, it might take you 2 years, 3 years, even 5 years for you to become confident that you are going to do this. But in that moment, we as an organization, we would have benefited quite a lot. So I'm going to sponsor this, and I'm going to give you time. And I'm going to create opportunities where you are going to coach leaders in this organization so that you build on the experience that you have. And I was looking at this man in front of me, and I said, how many leaders can do this for another? How many leaders would think of supporting somebody where the benefit might accrue to other people, but not them in the long term? And today I'm speaking to you being a qualified life and business coach because of John Havner. He supported me. He saw my dream and he supported me. And let me tell you, and I guess this will be a lesson for other leaders. I was still performing at my work. But when I came back, at that moment, when the conversation finished, something happened in my mind. And I delivered like not ever before, because of just the support that this person has given me. You might think that you are denying somebody because they are going to benefit on something in the long run. Think twice about it and help a person now. Because that's more like paying it forward. You will get more and more rewards out of that experience. And I've learned a lot from that leader. So he was living the values of the organization when we say the people are our most important assets. And what I learned from other leaders is that such leaders are available. When leaders step into an organization, some are quick to say, my door is open, come to me anytime. But when you look at their body language, when you listen to the tone of their voice, you realize that these people actually are not meaning what they say. But true leaders are the ones who would invite you physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually into their spaces. They will create time to listen to you. They will create time to advise you, to mentor you, and to guide you. Yes, we'll say, I don't have time for one-on-ones with my team. I don't have time to listen because I've got to deliver out there. But if you are a leader, one of the most fundamental things that you need to understand is that you are a leader and a manager. Both of these things coexist. So you cannot want to say, I've got tasks to deliver, which is a management thing. You also have got to create time for your people, because we create time for things that are important to us. So it means if leadership is not important to you, but management is important to you, you will deal with budgets only as an example and forget giving people hope, setting strategic vision, communicating your vision. But if it's important, if leadership is important to you, you will then be available for your people. So leaders who give hope, they go out there and are just available for the people that they have the opportunity to lead. The other thing that I really learned from true leaders is that they nurture relationships so that they can give hope and purpose to other people. True leaders nurture and maintain healthy relationships with those that they come across. They do not use the power dynamic to take advantage and suppress those deemed less powerful. So if you are a leader and you enter into relationships with other people, you need to understand that you are building an emotional bank account with these people. And the more you do the right things, the more you create time for your people, the more you give them advice, the more you mentor them, the more you give them crucial feedback, the more you say things that are advancing them, that are not meant necessarily to make them happy, the more you are building into the emotional bank account of your team. But if you are a leader that likes to be liked by your people and you tell them things that they want to hear, they might like you for now, but that is going to expire very soon. And at the same time, if you do not understand what is happening around your people, you are taking away from their emotional bank account. There are people who say, but I've got nothing to do with your family and your kids. Yes, it is right to a certain extent in the sense that you don't have to get into the nitty-gritties of what is happening with the lives of people to a point where you are knee-deep into their issues. But true leaders understand that they are leading holistic human beings. So to create an emotional bank account with the people, to give them purpose and hope, is to know what is happening in their life in a sense of how the families are doing. Is there anything that it might be happening with the family, with them personally, that might interfere with how they would like to deliver their work? All those things are very important for you to do as a leader. When you lead people, it's not about the brick and mortar, the four corners that you sit in, but it is about those relationships that you mold and build. Being able to give somebody time off because their child is sick. Being able to give them a call when they are going through hard times to say, we are here, we are supporting you. Being able to move some of their work to the other team members so that the person can be able to look at to focus on their situations. And it is possible for you to shift the work to others because you have built this emotional bank account with the team. You have nurtured their relationships. So if you are keen on becoming a leader and to step into leadership, that's what leaders do. Leaders live the values of the organization. Leaders put people first. When leaders say people are our most important assets, they mean exactly that. They don't do the opposite. And it is my contention that if you are not prepared to do that, to put people at the center as a leader, then don't step into leadership. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Because leaders are there to give others hope, purpose, and inspiration to face this world and for them to be able to achieve their dreams. Until we meet in the next episode, I thank you.